In this pretty short pickups episode of the Bargain Game Hunter, I score a bunch of really nice PS5 games from Woot, and I went to GameStop and came away with one of the rarest Xbox One games. Let's talk about it. So, of course, we've been doing a lot of episodes of this series lately. I'm sure you've noticed that we've done quite a few in January and February. Of course, now we're leaning very quickly into March. But hey, when games are coming, you gotta grab them, right? So we'll start off with Woot. So Woot actually did a special deal. It was a one-day only deal that I wanted to take advantage of. And that was, if you spend $100 on Woot, you get a $15 off promotion. And of course, if you don't know, stuff on Woot is already heavily discounted. So heavily discounted stuff gets even more discounted, which is pretty awesome. So I decided to take advantage of it and order a few games that I've thought about getting for a little bit, but this was kind of the promotion that pushed me over the edge on them. I think I did pretty well. So we're going to start off with Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach on the PS5. I've seen gameplay of this. I've never played a Five Nights game. I know what they are. I'm not completely out of the zeitgeist of that. But this one actually looked kind of intriguing because it's like a open world, first person kind of game. So I'm like, you know what? It might be a fun time. Might as well pick it up. And the best part is I only paid $20. And it's worth $32. So I actually did really well on that one, which is pretty nice. And that's kind of the theme for a lot of these Woot games. The next one up, and this is the game that came out pretty recently. I believe it came out in November. And I've heard very mixed things about it, but I'm a sucker for cartoony sports games, and I want this to be good. It probably won't be, but I figure I'll give it a shot. We have Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports on the PS5. It's got basketball, soccer, golf, and tennis with Looney Tunes characters. I figure it'll at least be kind of enjoyable for a little bit, even if the gameplay is not amazing. So I wanted to give it a shot, and now I can play it on PS5. I paid $20. It is worth $40. It's a really good score there. Next up, we have Rainatis on the PS5, the Deluxe Edition. This is a JRPG, an action JRPG, has a very stunning art style. It is an NIS game. NIS games tend to hold their value pretty well. It looked intriguing, and I figured it was worth a pickup for a fairly cheap price. I paid $25, and this is worth $60. So yeah, did pretty well there. And then last, certainly not least, I heard about this game a while ago, and I actually did have it pre-ordered on Amazon to pay full price for the Deluxe Edition. Didn't end up getting it because it got delayed for a long time, and I finally just gave up and canceled it. Well, found it on Woot, and I decided to get the PS5 version because I figure it'll probably play a little bit better on PS5. And I have the Deluxe Edition here, and I got it for a fraction of the price that I would have paid on Amazon normally. Blazing Strike, the Special Edition, Limited Edition on the PS5. It's a like 2D classic style fighting game. Looks really interesting. It's got some cool extras in it. Again, we are going to unbox this for the channel, so be on the lookout for that. But I figured it was worth a pickup, especially for the price that I paid for it. So I paid $20 after the $15 discount. It is worth a very nice $69. Oh yeah. So that was Woot. Pretty solid, pretty happy. So now let's get to GameStop. And GameStop is interesting because I went there with a couple goals in mind. So the first one is, on the last episode when I went to GameStop, I got those PS5 games at the last second. I didn't pick up 3, I actually picked up 4. When I got home, I realized I had the 4th one. It was Asteria Ascending. I actually already had it. I bought it new on Amazon for like $25 or something. So I'm like, well, this is silly, so I'm just gonna return this. So along with that, I decided to bring in a couple doubles, because one thing I've been trying to do, especially now that GameStop has kind of expanded what they take for trade-in, I wanted to get rid of some games that I have on more than one platform and try to instead use that credit to get new games that I don't have. And what's funny is I did actually get one game that I do have on another platform, but this one makes a little more sense, and we'll get to that. I didn't take advantage of the buy two get one this time. Well, I did, but again, we'll get there. I mostly went and focused on retro because I heard through the grapevine when I was there over the weekend that they got a bunch of PS2 games that were going to go out of trade hold. And they had some decent stuff. I also picked up an Xbox 360 game, a PS3 game, and a PS4 game. So yeah, pretty solid stuff. So we're going to start off with Spy Hunter on the PS2. I had this game back in the day. This was one of the first PS2 games I ever played. It came, I think, with a console bundle that my parents got from Sam's Club. It came with this, a game called Cookies and Cream, which is actually really rare right now. I kind of wish I still had it. Sly Cooper, the first one, and a few others. And yeah, I mean, Spy Hunter was pretty cool. It's a reimagining of the classic arcade game. Basically, it's just you're a souped-up spy car and you shoot targets and perform missions. It's pretty fun. It was an enjoyable retro PS2 game. I figured it was worth a pickup. I paid credit for this. It is worth $8. Next up, a classic. And this one I mostly picked up A, because it's in good shape. It doesn't have a manual, but it's in good shape. And B, in honor of its 20th anniversary this year, which is baffling to say. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith on the PS2. This was a pretty decent movie tie-in game, and now I have a copy of it on the PS2. Figured it was worth a pickup. It was in pretty good shape, too. I paid credit. It's worth $9. Next up, a game that I have digitally. It was a Games with Gold game, but now I have a physical copy again. I did own this at one point, and I traded it in back when I was naive and decided I didn't need a physical copy of a game if I had it digitally. Well, joke's on me then, because now I'm rebuying all of them physical copies. We have XCOM Enemy Unknown on the Xbox 360. This is a really, really good tactics-based, turn-based game. Really, really fun. Very enjoyable. If you haven't played the XCOM reboot game, you should. I have all of them physically, because I have XCOM 2 on the Xbox One, and then I have both this and Enemy Within on the 360. So pretty happy with that. Glad to add it to the collection. Paid credit, and this one is worth $8. Then we got my one PS3 game. Now both of these I only got because I picked out two other retro games that I was a little bit more excited about. One of which was a GameCube game. I believe it was Sphinx. Didn't have the case. The other was Acme Arsenal on the Xbox 360. But I checked the discs. The discs were not in great shape, so I decided to put those back and picked up two other games instead. First is Dynasty Warriors Strikeforce on the PS3. Again, another uncommon Dynasty Warriors game. Figured it was worth a pickup. Dynasty Warriors games are fun, and they actually hold decent value, surprisingly, because even though there's a million of them. I paid credit worth $12. And then the last game, it's not a retro game, but I decided to pick it up because, well, I'll explain in a second. We have Republic on the PS4. Now, I technically already own this game. I have the Switch Anniversary Edition of this game, but that's sealed. So my thought process is I will buy the PS4 copy, because you don't see the PS4 copy of Republic very often. It's a pretty uncommon game. So I'll pick up the PS4 copy, I'll play it on my PS5, and then I'll keep that Switch copy sealed. That's the thought. So I think that's a kind of smart move. I'm starting to find alternate ways to play some of my sealed games in case I decide I want to keep them sealed forever. We'll see. I am going to be doing a series on this channel that I'm sure people will be interested in. That's essentially me opening up several of my sealed games to play them and to see if it was worth opening them or keeping them sealed. So look out for that. That'll come out, I don't know, whenever I feel like making it. But anyway, Republic, uncommon PS4 game. I paid credit, it's worth 13 bucks. Now, right before I left, and again, this is a similar story to what happened last time I went to GameStop, where my Uber was late and I decided, no, go back in and pick up these PS5 games. While I was about to leave, I noticed they had a crazy collection of rare and valuable Xbox One games, which that doesn't happen very often. Now, as a Xbox One collector, I mean, of all the consoles that I own the most Xbox One / Series games. It's hard to find a lot of retail stores with a decent Xbox selection. This GameStop not only had it, but they had some super uncommon games. The problem with the 3 that I saw was that I already owned them. But here's the thing, they were Marvel games. So the first one I saw that they had was Deadpool on the Xbox One, which is a very uncommon game. It's worth about 50 bucks. I already have it. Got it at a pawn shop for $5 or some really low price. And that was before the spike too. And then they also had Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on the Xbox One, which again, I have my original copy for when I got that way back in the day. But there's a third one, and I picked that one up because the chances of me seeing that game ever again are pretty low. But since I was going to be picking that up, I figured, you know what? I might as well pick up 3, because I could pick up 2 more games, get one of them for free. Might as well do it. So for starters, I got the Harry Potter Lego collection on the Xbox One. I have both of these games on the 360, which means now those are expendable, so I might actually trade those in. But now I have the Xbox One version of Lego Harry Potter. It's a Lego game, it's Harry Potter, it's good stuff. Can't complain there. I paid 19 bucks. It's worth 9. So yeah, you'll notice these were not exactly the greatest values. It kind of balances out in the end, but yeah, these weren't the greatest values. These are just games I wanted to add to the collection, so it really doesn't matter the value, to be honest, but you know. Next, we have another game that I technically already own. I have a digital copy of this, but I didn't have a physical one, so I wanted a physical one. The Spyro Reignited Trilogy on the Xbox One. Again, I didn't have it. I decided I wanted to pick it up because might as well, right? And yeah, did pretty well. Pretty happy with that pickup. This was the freebie. It's worth 10 bucks, I believe, something like that. Yeah, 10 bucks. So nothing crazy, but it is what it is. And then the gem. Now, you're gonna see this if you didn't know the backstory and be kind of surprised as to why this game is rare. It is, though. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on the Xbox One. Now, I'm sure you're asking, why is Amazing Spider-Man 2 on the Xbox One so rare? Well, when that game came out, an Xbox One version was announced, but right before the game released, Activision said that they were canceling the game. So, on Xbox One specifically, not on the other platforms. But apparently it was so far along in production that copies got out anyway. And a fair amount of them too. I think they ended up resending that and basically said, no, it's still coming out, it's just delayed. It did not get a big print run. The Xbox One version of Amazing Spider-Man 2 is by far the least common version of that game. Like, you can find it on PS2, Wii U, 360, PS3, all that good stuff, fairly cheap. Not the Xbox One version, though. It is very uncommon. You know it's uncommon. With an Xbox One game, I paid $54, and that is after a couple rewards from GameStop, as well as the Pro membership discount. It was, not brand new, but it was full $60 pre-owned. That tells you how uncommon this game is. It's worth $50, so I still lost a little bit. But again, my thought process on this was, am I ever going to see this game again? Probably not. I can almost guarantee the next time I went to that GameStop, this would not be there. So I wanted to pick it up and add it to my collection to be kind of a, not necessarily the crown jewel of my Xbox collection, but definitely one of the big talking points of my Xbox One collection. And now I have it, so there you go. And that is the end of this pickups episode. I know it was a kind of a shorter one, and we did it literally in one take, but you know, sometimes that's how it is. Next week will be a bit more interesting because I actually have some games coming in from Limited Run. So if you don't know, Limited Run announced they changed how they're doing their like end of the year sale. They usually do a sale in like January, February, where they take all their back stock and try to sell it for cheap to get rid of it. They changed that up so that now they're doing this thing called the Vault, where they open up the vault, they release product in there every now and again at a heavily discounted price. Once it's gone, it's gone. You don't have to wait for a specific sale. I was there on the first day of the vault being open, and I was able to snag a few games from it. Was it worth it? We'll find out. And then I also have a game that it ties into, if you remember the AZ Thrift episode, the most recent AZ Thrift episode, I got a certain case that was worth some money, and I really wish to have the game for it. The game's supposed to come this week, so we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, that is all coming very soon. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. And I will see you on the very next episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.